Hello. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you how to do choice one from the analyzing setting and theme slide on the choice board. So choice one, you are creating a drawing from or after you have read a short excerpt from A Christmas Carol. You're going to draw what you think this set would look like. I have instructions linked here, so we're going to take a look at those together. Pull them up. First of all, as I can tell from the fact that you are here, you are watching the video tutorial, which is great. I'm just going to remind you to watch the whole thing because all of these instructions are going to be important to you in some way. First off, to start this assignment, you are going to reread an excerpt from A Christmas Carol. So we'll pull that up. I have it linked right here. Just as a reminder, we read A Christmas Carol right before winter break. This was the story of Scrooge, who's this grumpy old man who hates Christmas, and then he's visited by three ghosts, and they get him to change and become a better person. The part of the play that you're going to be reading is towards the beginning. It's after Scrooge is coming home from work, and he walks up to his door, and as he's going into his house, Marley, who is the ghost of his old business partner, his face appears as the door knocker, and then Scrooge starts seeing all this weird stuff in his house. So that is the part that you're going to be rereading here. Read that first just to remind yourself what's going on here. And then we're going to go back to our instructions. Your job is to take what you read in that excerpt and create a drawing of what the setting would look like. So this is a place. So setting is very literal here. It's what you would see on the stage, what items you would see on the stage if this play was being performed. So the place to look for those especially is these stage directions. Again, this play is meant to be performed, so they list what should be on the stage in those stage directions. An example I'm going to show you is this. They say, the door knocker changes and is now Marley's face. So they literally tell you there, we should see Marley's face as the door knocker. Those are the types of things you're looking for. You're going to take what you've read there and draw what you see. Draw what you see the stage directions telling you this setting looks like. First requirement, I do want to see 5 elements at least in your drawing. So that means, for instance, if you're doing the door knocker, like I just pointed out to you, that would be 1. Then I would want to see you draw at least 4 other things that you know should be included in this setting. Now, something I'm going to add here, make sure that these are things that the text directly mentions. So you might imagine some things, your brain might be filling in some of the details, but I want you to be able to point to a sentence in that excerpt and tell me it says right there that this should be on the set. So just keep that in mind. You're looking for that textual evidence, which we'll get to more about later. 5 elements. The elements in your drawing should be labeled. So not only are you going to draw what that set looks like, but you're going to write next to each of those elements, this is the door knocker, or this is the blank, whatever it is that you include. So it's very clear to me what you're drawing. And finally, this is probably the most important part to me in your assignment. I want you to not only include a label, but also textual evidence. So I want you to include a quote that says exactly where it told you this thing is in the setting from the text. So we'll go back here one more time. If you decide to include the door knocker as Marley's face, I want you to write right on your drawing, the door knocker changes and is now Marley's face in quotations. So I know that this is something you found in the text. Those are the main things I'm looking for in your drawing. And I am going to pull up an example just so you guys can see what this might look like. It's not a fully completed example because it is important to me that this is something you're doing on your own. This is your chance to prove to me that you can imagine setting and find textual evidence by yourself. But here's one example. I've drawn the door, so you want to have your drawing included there. Then you'll also see that I have some labels and some textual evidence written on here as well. So you're telling me exactly what this is. This is Marley's head as the door knocker. And then underneath it, you are writing that quotation word for word from the excerpt. So I wrote down here, the door knocker changes and is now Marley's face. This would be one element. If I was doing this assignment, I would also have to include 4 other elements. So I have at least 5 total, but you can do more if you'd like to keep going from that. Last thing I'll say here, when you are done with your drawing, I would like you to share this with me on Flipgrid so I can see your final work. So I'm going to have the link to the grid down here, and then you'll just go and make your video. In your video, I want you to show me your drawing and also make sure that you go through and explain each of the 5 elements that you've included. And also read to me your textual evidence. So again, if I was showing off my drawing, I'd say, I drew the door here, the door knocker, and then I included this textual evidence from the excerpt. But that is all that you are doing for this assignment. So ask me if you've got any questions about this. Otherwise, be creative. I'm hoping that those of you who really love to draw especially have some fun with this assignment. Email me with your questions. Otherwise, good luck.